Welcome to the Pooley's Audio Ground Training Series, Radiotelephony. Written by Helena Hughes and presented by Helena Hughes and Sebastian Pooley. Unit 1. Introduction.
When used correctly, radio can greatly enhance the safe and efficient operation of aircraft. Employing a good radio technique and standard phraseology are the basis for reliable and unambiguous communications between air and ground stations, regardless of the native tongue of their users. Poor communication procedures have been cited as a contributory factor to incidents, accidents and airprox events over the years. Some examples have been documented in the CAA's safety leaflet, RT Discipline. Radiotelephony procedures evolve over time, with amendments and improvements being regularly incorporated. CAP 413 remains the definitive document, and the current edition should be referenced not only before your initial exams, but also periodically throughout your flying career. Standard words and phrases should be adhered to where possible, as they have been designed to facilitate clear communication and minimise the likelihood of misunderstandings. A confident-sounding pilot is more likely to inspire confidence in the controller. The reverse may also be true. Controllers, rightly or wrongly, do form an impression of a pilot's ability from the way he or she sounds. If a controller is unimpressed, they may be reluctant to let you near or through their airspace when there's a lot of other traffic. Good RT seems to be rewarded with a good service from the ground. This course is intended to cover not only all the aspects of radiotelephony operations required to help you pass the written and practical tests for the initial grant of a UK PPL, but also to serve as a refresher for qualified pilots wanting to update or improve their communications technique. Those wishing to refine their skills may want to skip Part 1, which covers the basics, although some changes may have taken place since you first qualified. You will not become an expert overnight merely by listening to this CD, but it should help improve your technique, choice of phraseology, and possibly, most importantly, your confidence. The more you practice, the easier and more natural the words and procedures become. Priority of calls. The Aeronautical Mobile Service handles messages in the following order of priority. Each of the sections will be discussed in detail later on. For the moment, just appreciate that there is a logical order. Number 1, understandably, distress messages and distress traffic are handled as the main priority. The radiotelephony signal Mayday denotes these messages. Number 2, urgency messages, using the radiotelephony signal Pan-Pan. 3, communications relating to direction finding. 4, flight safety messages, such as heading, speed and level instructions. 5, meteorological messages. 6, flight regularity messages. One definition is relevant at this point. The Aeronautical Mobile Service is a radio communication service between aircraft stations and aeronautical stations, or between aircraft stations. Now let's have a look at transmitting techniques. Before saying anything, think about what you're going to say. Check that the receiver volume is satisfactory, and most importantly, listen out on the frequency to be used before transmitting to ensure that you will not transmit over or interrupt another station. Maintain the microphone at a constant distance from your mouth. If using a handheld microphone, also avoid turning your head while speaking. In either case, allowing the microphone to touch your lips can seriously distort transmitted speech. Speak in a normal conversational tone of voice. Shouting also distorts the transmitted signal. Speak at an even rate, about 100 words per minute at a maximum. The recipient may have to write down your details. If you know this is the case, speak more slowly. Maintain a constant volume. Avoid using hesitation sounds such as or On commencement, ensure that the transmit switch is fully depressed and ensure that you do not release it until you have finished speaking. This will ensure that your message is not clipped. Enunciate each word clearly and distinctly. Remember that the first language of the recipient may not be the same as yours. Finally, Always ensure that you have released the transmit button after your message. This will avoid blocking a frequency, not only a great annoyance and potential danger, but possibly a great embarrassment, as you may inadvertently broadcast things you do not want the rest of the world to hear.